last time my entire family was in one room, they were toasting my brother with my inheritance. They told me I didn't need it as much as he did. They were right. I didn't need their money, but I craved justice. And the day I became the secret owner of my brother's mortgage was the day I finally understood the true meaning of family business. Have you ever been overlooked? The one your family deemed less important, less successful, less worthy? If you know the sting of that betrayal, then you understand the fire that fueled my revenge. Hit subscribe because this is a story about how the forgotten child became the one in control. My brother, Jason, was the golden child. Football captain, charmed life, my parents' pride and joy. I was Sarah, the quiet one, the writer, the sensitive one. While they funded his business degrees and his down payments, I worked 2 jobs to put myself through college. When our grandfather passed, he left a trust fund for both of us. It wasn't a fortune, but it was a life-changing $150,000 each. It was his way of saying he believed in both of us equally. In the lawyer's office, they read the will. Jason got his $150,000. Then the lawyer turned to me. And to my granddaughter, Sarah, I leave my personal library and my vintage typewriter so that she may always remember the power of a good story. The air was sucked from the room. The typewriter was worth maybe $500. My mother finally looked at me and said, "Sarah, honey, don't be upset. Jason, he has a family, a mortgage. You're so independent. You're a writer. You don't need the stress of money like he does. It's more practical this way." Practical. They had convinced my grandfather on his deathbed to change the will. They gave my inheritance to my brother. The turning point was a family dinner at Jason's mansion. He was showing off his new swimming pool, funded by my money. He said, couldn't have done it without the family's support, and he winked at me. I left that night with their laughter ringing in my ears. I sat at my grandfather's old typewriter, and I thought, they think stories are powerless. They think I'm powerless. Fine, I'll write them a new ending. I didn't use the inheritance I never got. I used my brains. The self-published fantasy novel I'd been writing in my cramped apartment, it blew up. It became a trilogy, then a Netflix series. Suddenly, I had more money than my entire family combined, but I kept it a secret. To them, I was still struggling Sarah. Meanwhile, I hired a financial investigator. I wanted to know everything about Jason's finances, and I found it. His pride and joy, his mansion. And the bank that held his mortgage was selling off a bundle of loans. Jason's was in it. So I didn't buy his house. I bought his debt. Through a series of shell corporations, I became his anonymous landlord. The bank that owned his home was now me. Months later, I was at another family dinner at Jason's house. He was bragging. The bank even called me a model client. I calmly put down my wine glass and said, "Actually, Jason, your bank sold your mortgage months ago." He laughed it off. "So what? I make my payments." I said, "Do you?" Because the new terms state that the lender can call the full loan due at any time for any reason. It's Clause 27B. You should really read your contracts. I slid a copy across the table. The lender's name was listed as S.H. Literary Holdings. His face went pale. S.H.? Sarah Henderson? I smiled and said, "Hello, landlord. You have 30 days to pay off the remaining $1.2 million, or I will be forced to foreclose. It's nothing personal, you understand. It's just practical." The chaos was beautiful. My parents were speechless. The golden child was crumbling. I stood up and said, "You told me I didn't need the money as much as he did. You were right. I needed the motivation. Thank you for giving me the greatest plot twist of my life." He had to sell the house at a loss. I didn't get the $150,000 back. I got something better. I proved that the quiet ones, the writers, the dreamers, we're the ones who control the narrative in the end. They underestimated the power of a good story. Don't let anyone underestimate you. If this story of poetic justice hit home for you, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the best I told you so moment you've ever witnessed? Subscribe for more stories about turning betrayal into your greatest victory.